Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the ONOLA ON3853. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Thorn SHY036 with the PT5000 movement. And Greg was wearing another watch with a PT5000 movement, my Addy's Dive 2024. I just reviewed that watch, so if you haven't seen the review, be sure to check it out. Grogu is upset. I took him to the wind-up watch fair, and everybody kept saying, "How cute, it's Baby Yoda." And Grogu hates being called Baby Yoda. I said, "Well, maybe if you weren't always shaking your rattle." He said, "I wasn't shaking my rattle. I was winding my SKX." All right, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in a rather simple box. Nothing special about it. Nothing horrible about it. And really, if it comes on a strap, I usually don't keep the box anyway, unless I'm intending to sell it, because I only usually keep a box to put the extra links in, and this doesn't have extra links. But it is a nice looking watch. I've been very happy with this one. Yeah, it's very affordable, but it doesn't feel cheap. This is the second ONOLA on my channel. This watch is in the very affordable range. If you want something in the ultra affordable range, they do have the Quartz 3852, which is a bit cheaper. This is an homage to a 5711 Nautilus, which is a watch that was so popular that Patek discontinued it, so people would just settle down and buy something else. This ONOLA only comes in a leather strap, which is probably a good thing since metal bracelets in this price range are usually poorly done and hollow. However, if a metal bracelet was available, I probably would have chose it as it makes a more informative review. This watch comes in 7 different colorways and strap options. If gold is your thing, then there is also black or white dials on a black strap. If gold is too flashy, then you have your basic chrome plating. The white one does come with a matching white strap. And if you want a blue strap, you can only get it with blue. The watch is 39.2 millimeters wide if you measure at the flats of the bezel, but 42.6 millimeters if you measure from ear to crown guard. 48 millimeters lug to lug, and it does have inverted end links, but they don't articulating, so it's more like they're protruding end links. It's 12.8 millimeters thick, and the lug width does not apply, but it's 27.2 millimeters wide at the strap ends, and it tapers down to 18 millimeters at the buckle, and weighs 89 grams on the supplied leather strap. So this is a Nautilus homage. You have a bezel that looks like a porthole. That was the whole point. This doesn't have the typical vertical brushing, though, of most Nautilus homages. So that's kind of unusual there. But in all honesty, if it's going to be plated, brushwork on plated watches doesn't look very good. So I'm kind of happy they did leave out the brushing. Then we have the dial. The dial is a teak dial, and I like the dial. I think they did a good job with it considering the price of this watch. We have a ONOLA up top, automatic on the bottom. Then we have dots for the minute markers. We have baton indices, and they are loomed, although very poorly. And we have a double baton at the 12. And then we have stick hands. They're loomed. And then we have a second hand. Now, honestly, the second hand is kind of hard to see, the gold on the blue background. It would have been nice if they had like a lollipop or something to let it stand out, but they didn't. And then we have a date 3 with no cyclops. And as you can see, the date's just a hair off center. It seems to be a little towards the top. Then we have a unsigned push-pull crown. You only get your basic water resistance, so a screw down would have been unnecessary. And as you can see, too, it does not hack. Then we have a crystal. It's flat, it's glass, does the job. Not a ton of reflection. So I like the crystal. And then we have the case. The case is a plated alloy. And the case looks fine. It would have been nice, though, if the lugs would have sloped down a little bit more, just because of the size of the case back. I think, though, if you get the quartz version, the case back isn't near as thick. I think they used the same case on the quartz. And since the movement is so much thicker on the automatic, they had to put this big old case back on it. which is, and the case back sticks out well past the lugs. So that means the watch wears a little high on you. But it is a nice looking case. And if it wasn't for this huge case back, I think it would be just fine. And then here is the case back. And these notches here for a wrench are fake, because you can see the little slot for the pry bar. So this is just the press-on case back, because you only get your basic 30 meters, because it says water resistant. And when it doesn't give a number and it says water resistant, that means 30. Then it says ONOLA. Then it says stainless steel back. That's a good tell that the rest of the watch is not. And then we have a display case back, and it shows the movement. Underneath the case back, I don't know what the movement is. I looked and looked, and I couldn't find anything that matched. There's no writing on the movement, and I couldn't find anything online that told me what the movement is. All I can tell you is it's 3 hertz, and its hand winds, does not hack, and has a bidirectional rotor, because it doesn't spin freely in one direction. So I will put it on the time grapher, and we'll see how it's doing. Here's the watch on the time grapher. As you can see, the movement's kind of a mess. It's running 34 seconds fast, which is really fast. So you will be setting this watch quite a bit, but of course it does not have a screw down crown, and it does not hack. So setting the watch is rather easy. As you can see too, there's a bit of beat error there. That's why you see 2 lines on the screen. But it seems to be a very consistent 34 seconds fast. So I think it just needs a little regulation. So I don't know if you are capable of regulating a movement yourself, or if you can just take it to your watch guy. But yeah, it's running really fast. The strap is genuine leather with a crocodile or alligator pattern on it. I don't know the difference between crocodile or alligator. And it seems to be a pretty good strap, considering the price of this watch. It's going to need some breaking though. When you put it on the wrist, it's a little stiff, but that's fine. It's always nice to be a little stiff and a little bit too soft, because you do want a break-in period. Then also, in the past, I bought a strap that was compatible with a Nautilus to put on another watch. And just to show you, it's basically the same strap size-wise. So if you need another strap for this watch, if you get one that's compatible with the Nautilus, it should work, because look at that. I won't bother putting this on this watch though, because it's basically the same strap. But as you can see, you have 2 little screws here that you're going to have to take out, and it looks like they're double-headed screws, so that's going to be a pain. Now if you do buy a strap that has an end link, you can push out a push pin too, but then again, you'd have to make sure that the end link matched the case, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Then we have 2 keepers, one fixed, one floating, nothing wrong with them. And then we have the buckle. The buckle's nice. It's sturdy, it's thick, the prong's not all floppy, and it is signed. Now of course, this is solid steel and this is a plated alloy, so they don't exactly match, but they're close enough that it wouldn't. I'd rather have a good quality buckle than something that matches. But yeah, overall, I've been very pleased with the strap. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. As you can see though, it sits kind of high because of that case back. So if that bothers you, you might want to stick with the quartz version. The quartz version is supposedly 1 millimeter thinner than this one, so it would sit a little bit lower on the wrist. But if that doesn't bother you, this is a nice looking watch. And I have 4 notches left, so this should fit 8.5, no problem, before you need a bigger strap. And once again, if you do need a bigger strap, just make sure it's compatible with the Nautilus and it should fit. Here we are in the loom room. Just wearing the watch for review purposes gave me no reason to think that the loom would be any good, and I'm sure that this test will be one big bomb. As we speed up the time, the indices fade almost immediately. The hands aren't much better, but at least are better than the indices. They really needn't have bothered with anything at all if it's going to be this poor. What do I like about this watch? Well, it looks nice. It looks very nice. The watch is compatible with Nautilus straps, so you can change the straps on it. And I do like this teak dial. I think they did a good job with it. It's got a good color of blue, and everything looks nice. What are my gripes and groans? The loom is a joke. The movement is running super fast, and they don't tell you what kind of movement it even is. And it sits really high on the wrist because the case is designed for the quartz version, and they had to put this big old case back on it for the automatic. Do I recommend this watch? Sure, it looks nice. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Although you might want to consider the 3852 quartz model that might sit a little bit flatter on the wrist. Well, thank you for watching my review of the ONOLA ON3853, and I will be back with an unboxing. I got some stuff from AliExpress today. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link, and I will get a tiny commission. But those tiny commissions do add up. And for those members of my Members Choice out there, I just sold the Members Choice watch. So I will be putting together another poll for the next one. Bye.